when we started having this conversation around how to address the supply and the demand side of youth unemployment, one of the things that we've realized is that it needs a multi-stakeholder engagement. So I like that there are so many different organizations who are doing different things, because the problem, even from a continental perspective, what we keep calling the youth bulge, and we keep asking whether it's a time bomb or an opportunity, it needs as many people to really participate. And one of the things that has been really exciting is, a couple of the ways that we've collaborated with different institutions. But let me start by speaking about what we specifically do and basically give a little bit more context into the DijITali centers. So as I mentioned, we have about just under 500 DijITali centers in 45 out of 47 counties. So there's only 2 counties where we don't have a presence, and we've been working to see, how we can get into those. It tends to be the ASA regions, which is the arid and semi-arid regions. There's 3 main things that we do with these digital centers in our network, and they are basically along our 2 biggest KPIs. One of our KPIs is digital inclusion, which they are bona fide doing, and the second one is, of course, job creation and reduction of youth unemployment. So the 3 things that we do with our digital centers and how we support them. Remember, I said these were entrepreneurs who already existed before we came into play, and that's one of the pivots that we did because of COVID, because we were unable to roll out our project in the way we had anticipated. So we just went and we tried to figure out what's the best route to market and what's the best route to effectiveness. So we work with digital centers that already existed before we came into the market, and we help them in 3 ways. One, we do capacity building and training, and capacity building covers a bunch of things. There's, how to do basic bookkeeping so that you are a credible risk when you go to borrow money from an institution, because one of the biggest challenges is really the credit gap. And then trainings are, we help them to figure out how to do marketing. So we have a course called Marketing 101. We also have a course that's probably been the biggest hit. It's called Design by DijITali. So we are very market driven in the sense that we respond to the needs that the digital centers actually face on the ground. So a lot of them are coming to us and saying, I have a client, they keep asking me for logos, they keep asking me to make business cards, and I've basically just been doing like letters. Can you show me how to, create a good logo? And then when we ran this class, and we've had quite a couple of digital centers participating, we take them through everything from, the psychology of color, what this brand represents. And then they've even extended it to the point where they have set up, some of them have actually set up like a division that just does design. All right, so that's capacity building and training. And with the trainings, we do a lot of trainings. We even have partnered with government institutions, especially around tax time, to show them how to file returns properly, so that if a university student walks in, they don't live with, if they want to be registered as a taxpayer, they want to live with a PIN certificate, but they don't want for someone to create an obligation out of nowhere. So we teach them the right way to engage with online government systems. And a lot of it is really around training them on things like NHIF, NSSF, etc., HELB, all these NTSA systems, KRA, filing returns, etc. So that's one pillar. The other pillar is asset financing. In fact, I think for maybe 80% of the DijITali centers who joined, they joined because they had heard about a digital center that had received some asset financing. We do our financing a little bit differently than traditional lenders. One, we have recognized that micro businesses and small businesses don't always have bank records that are going to enable them to borrow. So we also accept mobile money statements. And then we also place a very large premium on what we call engagement and participation. So when a digital center joins our network, they are assigned to an account manager. It's like an RM. And this account manager's role is to really understand their business, understand their ambitions, understand where they want to go. And then if they want to get financing, by the time they're asking for financing, we kind of have a wholesome view, sort of like an expanded KYC of what this entrepreneur is about.